Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us for the February 11th Talk About It Tuesday edition. We're going to probably not keep you very long today. We want to do a little bit of a recap about the user conference, make sure that some of you that may not have been able to attend know about some of the things that went on and a few of the things that are now available to you. So with me here in this room this morning, I have Michelle and Anderson. And of course, I think most of you know our team. And for those of you that maybe missed the announcement, we are minus one GIS person, Nita, who has gone on to be a GIS program manager elsewhere. And we are so very excited for her and we miss her. So we're going to look to kind of fill that gap over the next little while. And that's top of priority on Anderson's list so that we can add somebody back to our GIS team. And with that, I'll go ahead and get started with the user conference recap. So last week we had a user conference unlike any other before. I think the team worked hard to top what we'd done in the past, and major kudos to our education and outreach department, being Laura, Daniel, and Jesse, to really put it over the top. So just to give you some statistics from the closeout of the user conference, we had 285 overall participants. So that's the largest number that we've ever had. We had actual 194 attendees like into the sessions and from the agencies across Alabama. So of course the participants include some staff and sponsors and other resources that were there and available to you all. And we had obviously CEUs available. So we had 24 CEUs available across the course of 3 or 4 days. We issued 1,475 certificates. So obviously one person got more than one certificate if they attended more than one session, but almost 1,500 certificates issued, and for a grand total of 1,775 and a half CEUs earned throughout the course of the few days of the conference. So another neat thing that we tried to pull and get together was how many agencies were represented. And so we did a quick huddle yesterday afternoon, and Anderson put this map together based on some data Daniel pulled yesterday afternoon, and we had 66 agencies represented. And we think, we believe that is a very awesome reach. We're so excited for the opportunity to see more and more of you. I commented to staff yesterday, I saw more people, more new faces last week than I've seen in the past. And that's very encouraging that they had the opportunity to join us and take in the user conference in that way. A little bit of a highlight, we were going to try to do this and show really how far the reach was. So y'all keep me honest or help me remember when I say this. But we also had representation from Texas, Tennessee, Kentucky, California, Canada, Idaho,
Virginia,
Florida. I think we think that's it. So we just wanted to say a different country and multiple different states. So we were pretty excited about having all of those join us too. And I think there was a little something for everybody. With that said, Michelle, if you'll advance to the next one, please, ma'am.
Yeah, we've had a couple of comments. Jeannie Ferris says you guys completely rocked it, and Brandon Wallace agreed.
Okay. A couple of things that we do want to make sure our whole stakeholder group, even if you weren't able to attend, that you know about. We have partnered with Joy Collective, which was also one of our sponsors, but a lot of you have seen the video that we did just about the board that we unveiled at the Gulf Coast Conference last October. We have 2 additional videos that we unveiled during this user conference that are available to you. You were really the reason that these videos were produced. One is a Text for 911 video, so that you can use it to share social media, local news outlets to make certain that the community knows that text for 911 is available statewide. So we want to get that message out and make certain that everyone knows that. Also, there was a recruitment and retention video that was done. There is the ability, if you would like to or see the need, to take that base or basic video and then add information to the end of it or something with your, again, local radio, news outlet, social media, it doesn't really matter, but for you to take that video and then advertise any job openings that you have. So a couple of resources that are new to you all that we had produced on your behalf so that hopefully we can really advertise and bolster the recruitment efforts for 911, and then also make certain that people know the residents and visitors of the state of Alabama, they understand that text for 911 is available. So those 2 videos are available. If you don't mind, whenever you
I'll
upload this, make certain
I'll make
have
sure
access to them.
links are those. Daniel's also put links in the chat.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Daniel. So we also had another GIS doctor's office. So Anderson, we have a pretty significant project here going on in 2025.
Sure.
So what was the main, since it was a doctor's office, I'm trying to be witty on the spot and I don't do that very well, but what was the chief complaint?
I mean, most of the folks were there for VEP and how they interact with VEP and different issues. We had 12 agencies stop by. Folks were there at 8 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m. with questions, concerns. We had mentioned the statewide data remediation project, and digital has outlined requirements of the GIS, things we've never had to have the GIS do before to ingress, for lack of a better term, into their core services. We pulled a report back in October of last year to see where the district stood. And again, your GIS data never was asked to do what we're asking it to do. So not surprising, only one district met the minimum requirements. And the reason for that being is we paid Datamark to build their GIS data for them. So we are ongoing with that. The statewide remediation project is offered at district by district to engage with Datamark to edit your GIS data to meet the digital minimum GIS data requirements for core services provision. Man, that was a lot of words. I think at last count, we were up into the 50s. We're actively seeking to engage districts that have not engaged us on the remediation project. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, reach out to me. If you are ready to get your GIS data edited, reach out to me. If you want to talk shop, reach out to me. But I think the doctor's office was a resounding success. And building into both the doctor's office and the statewide remediation project, we are offering now 9 more opportunities for free VEP training 2-day courses coming to a district near you. We wrapped up our first one in Decatur in January. February's training is in Baldwin County. March's training is in Etowah County. April's training is going to either be in Enterprise or Montgomery, depending on where we get the most interest. And then we'll probably flip and do the other one. So Enterprise, Montgomery, Montgomery, Enterprise in April and May. And then probably for June, we'll do somewhere in the Tuscaloosa area. So coming to a district, the goal by having 10 trainings statewide is to make the training within an hour's drive of the vast majority of our districts.
Anything else?
I don't know. That was a lot.
That was a lot. You talk pretty fast. So, yeah. So if you don't know about the remediation project, you really need to.
You should know.
You need to get up with Anderson because we have a pretty significant check in the box to get in 2025. And you said up into the 50s?
Yes, at last count, I think
Awesome.
we have we've completed in the teens, if not 20s already. I've got to update my map. I did it for the board meeting in January, and we've made significant progress since then. So,
yeah. Cool. Also, another thing that I wanted to highlight because it was the first of its kind, apparently, in the nation. So we had CISA come in and do a cyber resilient 911 workshop at the state level. So I had the opportunity to attend one of those national region ones in last year in Jacksonville, Florida, where you had multiple states there. And one of the kind of a piece of feedback that we gave to them was this would be really good to bring cybersecurity awareness and training to our state and across the state level and to the stakeholders in our state. So we were able to do that. Alabama was the first. Oregon and Alaska are the next two up. I gave my colleagues in those states rave reviews over this workshop. We had 50 to 60 attendees as our pre-con course, and I'll just say that I think everybody walked away with more awareness of what's out there, the need to protect our investment, and then to what resources are available for free from the federal government down. So we had the FBI, obviously Homeland Security, a number of different folks there represented that were, it was just overwhelmingly positive as far as the interaction, the panel discussions that we had. We had a couple of our local ECDs that have taken a certain cybersecurity posture that have joined us and talked about best practices. OTM Cyber was a big part of that too, because they have such good relationships with some of the local ECDs here in the state. And you know, we had an agency willing to share what their cybersecurity experience has been when they had a failure within their organization or surrounding their organization is probably a more appropriate way to put that, but it did impact their operations. So overall, it was a really good day spent with those individuals. So anyway, if you'll go to the next, obviously we could not do this. Like we could not do the user conference as I hope maybe you noticed. It was pretty heavily branded with our sponsors because we owe them a huge thank you. We couldn't offer all that we've offered and talked about in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Excuse me. Without their sponsorship. We couldn't keep the registration so low. We wouldn't have such a nice facility. All of those types of things. Excuse me, a little choked up. But I just want to talk, I just want to extend yet another thank you to these organizations that have overwhelmingly supported us in more ways than one. They support you locally. They support us here at the state level, and then they provide a number of other goods and services on 911's behalf. So with that, I just want to say once more, thank you so much to our sponsors. We couldn't do it without you. And
if you enjoyed casino night, throw a thumbs up in the chat.
Oh gosh, yeah. So our main networking event this year was a casino night, and I think we may have touched on something that gets folks involved and gets you out of your maybe usual group and involved in the various things. So it was honestly an absolute joy to watch folks really enjoy themselves during that. So we had by no means was it a theme of our conference, but we had a number of games, and I think the competition brought out the best in everybody. So it was neat to see some of you let your hair down. So anyway, if you'll go ahead and advance, I think we have a couple of reminders and training to talk about. Anderson's already touched on the GIS related training that we're still trying to secure a couple of places for the remainder of the year, but that'll, if you'll watch social media or visit the My Alabama 911, you'll see your training registration. You'll see that training link there, their training registration link there at the bottom of that slide. That is the training registration link for everything that is offered through us. So do keep that in mind. That link does not change. What you'll do is whenever you go to that link, you'll just choose whatever course it is from a pull down menu. So the registration link remains the same for what we're doing. But we do have the opportunity, we here at the board, we're invited to partner with the Southeast Alabama SEAL 911 group to bring this training to Dothan in March. So Chris Inman will be back in Alabama. He's with the Healthy Dispatcher, but he'll be back in Alabama to deliver this training, like I said, next month. Lunch will be provided, and of course, 8 hours of CEUs are available if you can attend class that day. So keep that in mind. There were rave reviews on Chris Inman. I think he was the closing for the Gulf Coast Conference, and we just appreciate SEAL 911 allowing us to partner with them to help bring this training to Alabama. I think there is another opportunity maybe for the Healthy Dispatcher or Chris Inman to come back to Alabama later this year that we're trying to secure. So one thing that Laura shared with you all last week at the user conference, they're trying to get out the training calendar for the remainder of the year. As you all know, it's a little it's a little tough to get it out for the full year, but we are trying our best to get that solidified so that you kind of can plan your budgets, your travel, your shifts, you know, around that. So hopefully we'll be able to get that out next month too for you all to make your decisions on.
Hold on a minute.
And then maybe
Oh,
we
yeah,
just
okay.
zoomed in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, this, the
That's
last
all.
one was March 18th, this one's March 20.
I added
So
this.
two
Oh,
different
oh.
locations.
Yes, okay. So you know what? Don't tell Laura. She did tell me this yesterday, because now that I see this, it is in Decatur. My bad. I did know this and it just went right out the window. So he is doing sort of a 2-in-1 with his visit. So there will be the same opportunity to, man, I'm embarrassed. She told me that yesterday and I just, anyway. So yes, the same week, March 20th in Decatur, you'll have the same opportunity. It's kind of split between Southeast and more Northern Alabama. So anyway, sorry about that. Totally was told that and had something else on my mind. A couple of reminders that are a reminder that I sent out to our board yesterday and our staff, just so you all know, your 2024 statement of economic interests is due prior to April 30th of 2025. That's due every year. I will tell you that there are a couple of changes of who has to file. There are some salary changes. I think that's the main one. So just in case you don't know if you need to file, because this runs the gamut of a lot of different organizations, local and state, that have to file a statement of economic interest. So if you're an entity like we are, like yesterday I did the upload, I have to report to the Ethics Commission who is supposed to file, and that's sort of their check and balance against who they actually get a filing from. So with that said, I did include a couple of links, a direct link to the online form. I believe that I read yesterday, they will not accept anything other than an electronic filing. Maybe that was for our entity filer, but if you have somebody that has to file that does not have access to the internet, which I understand the statement that just came out of my mouth, we can't fathom that in 911, but it may be the case for some boards and commissions or entities around the state. There is a link directly to the online form, and then there is a link to a PDF. It's a page, maybe two, page and a half of who must file. So in case you don't know or don't remember, or it has changed since last time, be sure that you check that file out to see who has to file.
I filled mine out yesterday in like 5 minutes. It's a really easy process.
Yeah, if you've done, I will say this, if you've done it once, you're probably, it's real easy.
Mhm.
If it's your first time, don't overthink it. Do
Mhm.
file it though. Any reminders as far as deadlines coming up, Michelle, that you want to remind folks about?
No, I mean, we always have the PSC reimbursement and the legacy open that are due, you know, the 10th of the month, be paid out at the end of the month. So yesterday was the 10th. So if you file now, we'll be looking at paying out in, what's next month, March? How are we in February already?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, so if you submit either of those now, they'll be paid out at the end of March, but we are willing to accept them at any time. Just know that 10th deadline just makes impact on when it's paid out to you.
Okay.
I think
I
that's,
don't think I have any other reminders. So,
do we have any questions about anything related to the user conference or anything else we do here at the board? Sometimes I think we need to start issuing espresso these invitations.
I was gonna highlight something. We are currently teaching IAD's basic telecommunicator course. We're hosting it here in our office this week. We have oh, I'm sorry.
Want to get you, get you.
I think I've talked too much lately. Anyway, but we have 4 different organizations represented here with brand new, as they say, baby dispatchers. So we're excited to have them here in our office this week and being taught that course. And we are offering, I'll just remind you, we are offering IAD's basic telecommunicator course every month all across the state. And if you have a need, you need to tell us. I think our next ones that we're trying to find one to see if there's a need and maybe secure a place in the Wiregrass area and also over in the Black Belt. So I'm pointing that way because I'm looking at my imaginary map that Laura and I were looking at yesterday. But if you have a need, we're trying to make sure we're fulfilling that need and making it available. So like I said, we have 4 organizations, 4 agencies with students enrolled here in our office this week. And we don't always get the opportunity to host them in our office, but it's kind of neat to be able to walk down the hall and have a conversation with them or get to know them. I've been to 2 of the 3 that we've had so far.
Excuse me.
So anyway, we do have that once a month, and I'd like for you all to remember that. And if you have new folks coming in, keep in mind that they'll have to have a basic telecommunicator course within the first 180 days of their employment. So with that, I think that's the end of our slide deck. So our
proctor left.
our monitor left, so
How many thumbs up did we get in the chat?
a number of them.
Good. Yeah, one of the things we talked about in the after action user conference debrief is how fun it was to see different agencies sitting at the same table playing games together. That was a lot of fun. And all the smiles.
Yep. It was a fun, I think a fun time was had by all. So with that, if we have no further questions, Your Honor, I guess we'll end for the day and wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. Y'all have a good week. We don't have a topic for our next Talk About It Tuesday, but it will be towards the end of March. And I meant to look at February.
You said you can't believe it's already March and you just made she's fast forwarding and
rewinding and
Yeah.
you know, it's just it'll be the 25th. And I'll definitely let you know what that topic will be. If you have a topic you need us to talk about, email me, let me know. We are happy to take suggestions because we want to talk about what you want to hear us talk about, what you need us to hear, what you need us to talk about. So, yeah.
all right. Well, thank y'all and have a great rest of your week. For anybody that's maybe looking out for severe February weather, you know, because it's Alabama. Please be safe out there. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.